Okay, here we've got an NJ International switch machine hooked up to a homemade 072 switch. Basically, I took a tubular 072 curve and a 14.5-inch straight and cut them and fitted them together with a piece of masonite underneath there, and then had to custom make the throw rails, of course, to get the throw rails to fit right, and so on. But as you can see, everything is here, and this does throw the switches, or the rails rather. Let me take and zoom back out here a little bit. And this spring that's on here, I don't know if I can get close enough to zoom in on this or not. But the pivot point, there's a screw down in here that this arm pivots on. Okay? In fact, you can see the screw right there. I'm going to get my screwdriver here. It's like a pointer. This screw right down here is the pivot point that this arm pivots on. So this spring is keeping this thing thrown in this direction because it wants to keep pulling. Okay? And when you throw it the other way, the spring is now to the opposite side of that screw, which now keeps it pulled that way. So the spring acts like a locking mechanism and not to pull it back to the other position. Now you'll also notice these contacts that are down here. As this arm moves, these contacts are opened and closed. I could take and wire this thing up. This center terminals up here. The center terminal is your common, and then the outer terminals go directly to the coils. What I did is I wired these outer terminals to the contacts down here, so that when you throw the switch machine in this direction, the one set of contacts down here that allows the power to go through is now opened. So that even with the train, or if you're continuing to push the button on a manual momentary push button, even if you're continuing to push that button, the coil is not energized at all. But I've even got this set up as for a non-derailing system, which I will show you here in a moment. Get my screwdriver hooked up to this ground wire. Up here you can see I've got my, this is actually being powered right now through track power. So this would be, say, my track power. I've got this wire that's up here that's just connected to the outside ground rail, and then the other end is connected to this screwdriver. So that as I operate this thing, I touch the insulated rail up there, which you can't really see very well, and I can't zoom out any further. Maybe I'll move the camera back some, you might be able to see it. Alright, then I touch the insulated rail over here, the insulated rail there, insulated rail here. But as I'm continuing to touch this, as if the wheels of the train are still rolling across that track, the coil is not energized because the set of contacts down here for that direction have been opened up. So the coil is not being energized. Likewise in this direction. I can sit here all day long and be touching this rail with the ground, with the wheels, you know, representing the wheels on your train going through here, and the coil, again, is not being energized. These NJ International switch machines are basically bulletproof, like Harry said. You know, you can't beat them. They're very reliable, and you know, what more can you say about them? I would highly recommend them myself.